Hi there, it's Laurel, and welcome to my Simply Card Making video series. It's a video series where I take simple techniques and turn them into cards that any of you guys can do. And today I'm so thrilled to be here because I'm doing a collaboration with the Catherine Pooler. I know! And this is the card that I'm going to be making today in the video. We both are using this amazing background stamp by a company called The Ton. It's the Peony background stamp. Look at that. It's so stinking pretty. I can't stand it. I saw both of us were introduced to The Ton a couple of months ago. It's a fairly new company. It's great. It's a couture line of stamps. And I saw this background stamp and I bought it up like instantaneously. I love peonies. I live in Florida. It's like 5,000 degrees here, so we cannot grow peonies, unfortunately. Hey, I can grow hydrangeas, but not peonies. So I bought this stamp. I knew I had to have it. So we both are using this background stamp in our cards today and videos today. So I stamped it on some watercolor cardstock there, and I sprinkled on some clear embossing powder, and I'm going to go ahead and heat set this. Now I use clear because we're going to do a technique called Iron Off Embossing later. That's not a technique you want to do or try. You could totally do any color embossing powder here. It would be gorgeous. White, silver, gold, whatever you want to do. I am working off of some watercolored cardstock. This is Strathmore 120-pound watercolor cardstock, cold press. So that was a Color Bloom spray by Prima, but I'm not going to use it. I decided I didn't want to do purple after all. You can't really see the background yet because I didn't spray enough, but I changed my mind mid-spray. So I've grabbed a piece of hardy board there, and I'm going to tape it a little bit of area of it down to my work surface there. And I'm going to go in with my Gonzai watercolors. I decided I wanted to incorporate more colors. I don't have a lot of those Color Bloom sprays, so I wanted to incorporate more color. So I took, that's a cup of water up there at the top that's going to be off screen the whole time. But I'm putting a wash of color down, and I saw that the Color Bloom spray reacted to the water. So it looks like you can watercolor with those Color Bloom sprays if you have them too, which is super cool. Now that I put a wash of color down, you can see that background shining through. It's so pretty. So I'm going to go in with some different colors. I'm going to go in with some blues and some red and some pinks. And when I combine some of those colors, it's going to turn into purple. It's just super, super pretty. While I'm watercoloring, I wanted to mention we had a blog hop. Catherine and I and some other ladies had a blog hop last week launching a class called In the Mood by Creativity Grows Here. It is a online card class, but it is mood board inspiration. It's super cool. There are 7 different instructors, a bunch of different mood boards that you can choose from, and there's a ton of technique. It's just a lot of inspiration, so I encourage you just to check into it, see if you like it, and I'll link to it below here. But we had a bonus mood board that we shared with you last week to kind of give you an idea of what the class is going to be about, and that's where I took the inspiration from these colors, if you're wondering why I am rambling about that. So I'll link to it right here. All right, so I'm going in just with different colors. Now, I find watercoloring a little bit more freeing than the Copic alcohol color markers because I'm not that good with the Copics, to be honest with you, but watercoloring, I just go in and add a bunch of color and it's just pretty. Now, it might not look pretty when it goes on, but when it dries, it's always so pretty. And the colors mute down just a little bit, and you'll see what I mean. Like, this looks like a big wet mess, and I know y'all are thinking that. I'm probably thinking that as I'm watercoloring this, but regardless, go with it. Go with it, go with it. And I'm going to zap it with my heat tool just to speed along the process, but it's usually best to let it dry on its own. And you see that embossing powder there? I want to get rid of it. I don't want it there. I don't want that shine on my card. So I'm going to take my panel there and sandwich it in between 2 pieces of regular, typing paper, copy paper, whatever. Then I've got an iron, set it to the cotton setting, and I'm just ironing off that embossing powder. This is an iron specifically for crafting. I don't even iron my clothes, but I iron my cards. I don't know. Don't tell my husband that. And you can see that embossing powder is coming right up onto that copy paper there. And then it just removes that shine, and it looks like you went in and kind of hand painted all those peonies, which, y'all know I didn't. The recipient of the card may not, though. So I've got 2 dies here from the Lawn Fawn Stitched Rectangles, Stackables die set, something like that. And I'm going to take 2 different squares there, or rectangles rather, excuse me, I don't know my shapes. I need to go back to kindergarten. And I'm going to die cut those out, making sure I'm placing them where I want, the design to be. And then I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine. I'm using some low tack tape, and I actually went and kind of put them on my clothes and removed some of that tackiness as well because I don't want to rip my cardstock here when I'm peeling off the tape there. And then I've got these 2 little frames. And you see how it's toned down. You see how the watercolor has toned down some, and it just all blended. It just dried all pretty. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean with watercoloring. I just find that kind of the uglier it goes down, the more beautiful it's going to be when you're done. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, or maybe I think it's pretty and nobody else does. I don't know. So I went ahead and adhered the frame down to a pink top folding card base, and then I'm going to pop up that center frame there with some foam dimensional tape. I have this huge roll of Scotch double-sided tape. You could also use some fun foam if you wanted to, or something like that, to pop it up, or you could lay it flat. It's really whatever you want to do. But for this, I thought it would be cool to the eye, to draw in the eye, that you go ahead and you fit that piece right back in, you know, like a little puzzle piece, although this is a super easy puzzle because it's one piece. I'm lining it up. See, I'm lining up those lines of the flowers, and then it's popped up a little bit. And I just think that's so pretty. It just draws in the eye. This is another stamp set from the Ton. I love these sentiments. I love this handwriting. I think it's cute. The one that I went with is something, it says, "You're so awesome." But there's one that says, "You're so crafty." There's just some really fun sentiments in that set. I'll link up to that in my supply list below if you want to check it out. But I like the scripty font, the handwriting font. So anyway, I stamped that onto some vellum. This is some super thick vellum by Ellen Hudson. I love this vellum. It's the only vellum I'll use now that I found it. And I inked it up on Versamark and sprinkled on some gold embossing powder by Ranger and heat set that. Then I'm using some Ranger multi-matte medium behind the words of the sentiment there, and then I'm going to go in around the edges and just add a little bit more. Vellum is tricky because it's see-through, but this Ranger multi-matte medium dries matte, so if you put it in the right places, you're not going to see it. You won't see that glue. And then I just took some stuff I had on my desk to hold that down in place until it dried, and then here's the card. I just think it's so pretty. I love this background set. I can't say enough about this or the line. So be sure to check out Catherine Pooler's blog. She's got a video and project up as well. Remember I was rambling about the In the Mood class and the blog hop that we did last week? Well, this is the card and video I made for that blog hop, so be sure to click right there and it'll go right to the video. And here's that bonus mood board for you all. Isn't that pretty? It's just so pretty. So you can click there too and it'll take you over to my video I made for that card. So see that little subscribe button down there at the bottom? If you click on it, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and head on over to my blog as well if you want to see a few more pictures. I've got a supply list over there and also down below in the YouTube description if you're interested. Thanks so much for watching.